How's it going, guys? A little while ago I bought this pine table for my house and it's in the need of a little bit of a refresh, so that's what this video is all about. So hope you enjoy this one. I've enjoyed doing this and it's really nice to have a table to eat on at night. Through the workshop, you'll upside down. Feels nice and light compared to that oak I've been working with. Looks like someone's definitely been in here before because they've labelled the little blocks that screw it down to the sides on the runners. Perfect. So there's a couple of nails through the top, hopefully they will come out. My plan is to get these joints or boards flushed up back together. I don't mind if they're a bit warped within each board, but I want it kind of as flat as possible across the whole table. That joint there appears to have been glued by someone in the past, which is not what I want to do. So I think I'm going to try and disassemble that one along that glue joint. If I have to cut it, I have to cut it. And then I'll just want some loose tenons between the two boards just to keep them aligned, but allow them to move as they please. Beautiful, I just love the texture of it. Let's see if some of these will scrape out. Scoop this edge in a little bit. It's already looking better. So let's have a little play with this biscuit joint cutter. I'll just put it in the router and get this set up, see what it looks like. Yeah, it wasn't a bad guess actually, was it? 30mm. Probably 26 we'll get away with. Let's mark 26 on this one. So much cleaner than a biscuit. Absolutely perfect, I love it. That's a great little tool. Those who haven't seen it, these things are great. Pull it, tear it off, holds the tape ready for the next time. There we go, so each board has got just the right amount of wobble now, but it doesn't twist the whole tabletop, so it's really nice. And they're nice and aligned, so when you slide your mug of beer over there, it's not going to tip over. I'm going to put that tabletop to one side now and address the frame of the table. So there's just this like wobble in it, and the natural wobble, which is slightly annoying. So I'm going to take these joints apart, if I can, and re-glue them back together. The side-to-side joints seem okay, but once I've got it apart, depending on how easy it comes to bits, I will decide whether I take everything to bits and re-glue all of it, or just the lengthways joint needs doing. So yeah, there's not a lot holding that together other than the nails that are quite likely to be in here. So quick look. Just one. Two. If this was going to be stripped back and left as a natural finished table, I'd just hammer them through and then I'd leave the smallest possible opening on the piece of wood. Let's see how easy these come out. Hopefully you can see what I mean by these metal cards. They're just help protect the wood a lot from any levering that you do. So the end frames, I'm not going to disassemble. I think I'm going to do more damage disassembling them than I will do gain from like rigidity. That one is solid anyway. That's never going to be super strong just because of you've only got these two small rails to hold it together, but it's pretty good as it is. So I'm not too worried about them. I'm going to leave them. Love this little bit of character where the drawer has worn, like the side of the drawer has worn the face of the opening away. I think it's beautiful. Right, let's have a little test fit of these joints. Back together, make sure it all goes right before I put glue all over it. And to glue this one up, I'm going to be using this Xylo J30, which I've found on Amazon. Seems to be doing all the right things for me for what a PU glue should do. And it comes out at a really reasonable price per tube. So have a look at this. If you're using a lot of PU glue or you've not tried the cartridge type PU glue, really recommend this gear. It's good stuff. Right, let's see if we've glued that down to the bench. Trying to save these nails, reuse them. They're nice. Look at the runner in here and how much use that's had. Like it's worn away the timber and worn away the bottom of the drawer. So I don't know what someone's been using this table for. Maybe heavy keys every day, 100 times a day or something, but that's a serious amount of wear to have occurred on a piece of furniture. How long is the nail? Really know what to do with this. The drawer is really in a sorry state, but if I replace it, I'm kind of going away from the originality of the piece. So what do I do? Right, I think I've decided I'm going to glue it back together so it's solid and then try and make it good so it works well again. So I keep the original drawer, but look a nice working drawer. Look at the handles. They've got wooden threads on the back, wooden buttons. Looks like beech, is it beech? Somebody mentioned about IPA cleaner for cleaning off the solvent for the PU glue. I've tried brake cleaner in the past. Wasn't that successful, but IPA seems to be pretty good gear, to be honest. It's a bit like using water on a PVA, it's a similar sort of effect. So like that joint there would be a nightmare to clean up. If you let that dry, you would definitely damage this drawer cleaning that up. Just spray a bit of the IPA on. Kind of acts as a barrier to stop it sticking to the rest of the drawer. Even if you smudge it onto it, melts it off. It's good gear actually. Okay, so the plan is attach this not to the bottom of the drawer because you want to allow that board to be able to move. I'm going to attach it to the back of the drawer down here with a pin and some glue, and then to the side of the runner as far along as it will extend along the side, and then leave it sort of free in the bit in the middle, and that will act as my runner, so I get a nice smooth in and out of the drawer. You still have the visual of this tapered drawer edge, so it looks original and worn, but it should work an awful lot better, and the bottom of the drawer should be a little bit more secure. I think I'm going to leave the wobbly runners. I think they're quite cool. It's a bit of character. It goes in a bit wobbly. I love it. But the one thing that really bugs me about a drawer is when you ram as much stuff in there as you possibly can to get it out of sight, and you close it. I hate it when it comes up behind a rail like that and you can't get your drawer open. So what I am going to do is add in a top board above the drawer. It will both help it, when you open it, it doesn't drop like that, it'll only drop to somewhere there. It'll also help anything that's going to come with the drawer will definitely come out the opening and not get lodged behind this rail. It's dodgy, but it's on. Put a bit of oil on the underside first, see what colour comes out of the wood, because I might change my mind on what colour to use. That first coat of Osmo just brings up a tiny bit of sort of grain resin that sets within the lacquer itself. So I just take that off with a very fine bit of paper. So just let that oil set for about 15 minutes, really hot at the minute, so it doesn't take long at all. It just goes a little bit sticky, and then just buff it off with a relatively dry cloth. It can be the same cloth for the whole project pretty much. You want to leave like a slight surface amount on all of it, but just buff it off so that you go with the grain and you get a lovely sheen. It just gives you that sheen that looks like you've spent many hours waxing that to perfection, but it's achieved really quickly. A really nice finish. These non-woven pads are great for removing sort of solid materials like paint. I've just took it all off, but like the paint there, great for taking that off of something like this, but they don't really sand the wood too hard. Whereas a sandpaper that's capable of taking paint off pretty quick will quite aggressively attack the wood as well. So yeah, these are great bits of kit for removing that sort of unwanted finish from wooden items. You're probably myself. Beautiful one. Finishing touch here, just got a little bit of Granny Annie's beeswax. This is my auntie. She'll be tickled pink with this. Wish you could have smell-o-vision of that pot, because that definitely get 1 million views. Just gonna squeeze a little bit of wax on these threads, nourish the timber a little bit, help it slide together. Beautiful. There we go. I think that looks a lot better. It's definitely more home friendly, like it's clean, easy to maintain. Yeah, just a lot more homely. What I might do, depending on how it looks in the room, I might give this a light sand back and use Osmo Raw on it just to tone it down a tiny bit. It may be a little bit honey, too much honey for the room it's going in. But on the whole, it's turned out really well, and it's a lovely table. What a lovely piece to own, and I will enjoy having my breakfast at it every day.